Hey, it's George coming at you again today. And just like I always ask, what have you done today to make your tomorrow even better? Remember, putting things off to tomorrow doesn't make tomorrow any better. You got to make sure you take a look at what you're doing today to make tomorrow the things that dreams are made of. So, I know I go into business myself. A lot of you are looking to create your own business, go into business. Maybe you already have. And one thing we're going to talk about today is how to not make the top 5 mistakes that most entrepreneurs make in going into business. And so, with that said, let's get right into it here. And the top 5 mistakes. So, drum roll, please. Number one, expecting success right away. This isn't a job. It's not something you go and, interview for and you get a job and you work your 9 to 5 and you get a paycheck at the end of the day. This is a business. This is something that you got to build. This is something that you got to focus your energy on, build the foundation, build the walls, and then create the opportunity for you to create it. Now, with that said, creating your own business is obviously not only the foundation of what our true heart's desire, but it's also the best way to build a true income that can build your dreams, that you can build your dreams around. The thing about it is so many people go into these things and expect it from day 2, day 3 to be able to start rolling in the money. Now, it's great to have that enthusiasm. It is great to have that drive to be able to do that, but you cannot expect that, within the first month or two that you're going to be able to turn a profit. Some businesses out there can create, require a year or two. I know some franchises out there that they'll tell you, hey, don't expect any profits in the first 3 years. Now, for me, I do a lot of online businesses and I help others and I coach others create online businesses. So our turnaround time on online businesses is a lot sooner than that. We don't have all the brick and mortar expenses, and we can, and our, audience, we can reach a lot greater and a lot faster. But even still, you got to be able to think about it in terms of you're building something. And with building something, just like building a house, it doesn't just happen. You have to lay the foundation, you have to lay the walls, you have to lay the structure and build the habits that it's going to take to create that income that you're looking for. So, make sure that you're going to this with eyes wide open, continue the drive, continue the motivation that it takes. But again, don't expect, to be having profits right out of the gate. You're going to have to build that up. And again, with that said, still the greatest place to build a foundation for income that can make your dreams come true. And with that, we're going to slide into number 2, trying to do everything yourself. Okay, realize that in the beginning, yes, you're going to have to do everything. You're going to have to build the foundation. You're going to have to build the infrastructure. You're going to have to do a lot of those things yourself. But as you start to grow, as you start to see the income coming in and starting to be able to do more and more different things, don't be afraid to try to find ways to outsource or to have people take on certain tasks for you. Because one of the biggest things about becoming an entrepreneur, becoming a business owner is not just the success you're looking for, but it's also the lifestyle. It's also, how can I create some time freedom? And at first you're not going to have it, but as you grow bigger and larger and everything else, think about outsourcing, think about hiring on an assistant, think about those things that you're going to need in order to build the lifestyle you want. And that's one of the things I really love about online businesses is because I can outsource things, and there are a lot of good, reputable places out there where I can get them and be involved with them so I can show them what I need, show them what I'm looking for, and they can take over from there. And all I got to do is touch base with them every once in a while. But, once I built the foundation, once I built the expectations, I was able to spread the workload around so that I'm not inundating my lifestyle that I wanted to create. I'm actually building the lifestyle and allowing for the lifestyle that I wanted to create, just like I'm sure you are. So with that, let's go into number 3, thinking they can start small and build up from there. This is one of the most common misconceptions that, as I coach a lot of online entrepreneurs and business owners and things going into it, is thinking that, I can just start off with this little thing here and build my way up to the greatest results. And yes, in theory, that can be done. But I can quite honestly tell you, I don't know anybody myself that's been able to do it that way because, you lack a lot of the resources that you need to grow yourself as well as your business. One of the biggest things that you grow when you become an entrepreneur, when you become a business owner, is yourself, your own skills, your own abilities, your own drive to be able to do that. And quite honestly, if you start out, it's like trying to open up a McDonald's saying, out of the gate, I'm just going to sell fries. That's all I'm going to do. I'm going to open up a drive-through. I'm not even going to have a dining room. I'm just going to sell fries through a drive-through. And then, once I start making some money 6 months down the line, I'm going to open up the soft drinks. Still just do the drive-through, though, but I'm going to do soft drinks. And then, a year comes around, I'm starting to see, I'm still maintaining that profitability. Then I'm going to sell a Big Mac. Yeah. Honestly, do you know any business that can become profitable that way? No. You got to be full. You got to be all in your business. You got to be able to go and grab the resources and find ways to get the resources that you need to be able to build, sustain, and flourish your business. So don't be scared off. Realize that it's investment in your future, investment in your dreams, and really take hold of it and be able to gather the resources you need. Find ways to get find ways to get all in so that you can become the person you want to be, which allows yourself to build the business you want, which allows you to reach for your dreams and the lifestyle that you so want from becoming an entrepreneur. Go into number 4, which is not being adaptable. This is one of the things that I find that, especially on internet marketing, a lot of people fall into a rut because of this. It's because they're not testing things. They're not always out there looking for what's working and what's not. And really, once you get a firm hold on your business and it starts to mature and it starts to roll, then you got to be testing. You got to be looking for things that you can tweak, that you can modify to get even better results. Because if you're not finding ways to improve, you're not finding ways to change the little things here and there, then you fall into the rut. And then you will start to see not only your results start to hit a pinnacle, but after time, you'll start to see them go down because you're just doing the same thing. And I can guarantee you one thing that you've always heard, whether you believe it or not, is everything changes. It's the one guarantee in life. Everything changes. So what works last year is not going to work the same this year. That doesn't mean the foundation isn't true. That doesn't mean the principles aren't true behind it. But the technique in implementing it or the way you address it or put it out there might have changed just that little bit. And if you're not focused on testing, if you're not focused on trying to figure out what little changes you can make and test, and not every test is going to work out great. You might even find out that, what I was doing worked the best until something else comes along. But you got to be open to it. You got to be willing to adapt to what changes are going to happen in the marketplace. And that's even more importantly is being tapped in to a lot of the ones out there and being tapped into market leaders within your industry so that you can realize what's happening before it happens. And you can be in touch with those that are, at the forefront and be, right at the headlines of saying, hey, this is happening. So let's make sure that, we're making these changes now because this is what's going on. So being connected and being surrounded by those in the industry that are the leaders can really help you adapt. And that gets us into number 5, and we'll talk about it. Now, of course, for my business, this number 5 is like number 1 because I'm an online business owner. I'm a marketer online. And of course, ignoring the internet and social media would be the downfall of my business completely because that is the foundation of my business. But even if you're in a brick and mortar business, and there's a lot of people out there that think this, that, I can do away with the internet. I don't need the internet. My business doesn't require it. Social media, I don't need people taking snapshots or a Facebook page or anything. It is so wrong because there isn't a business these days that in order to flourish, in order to grow, or even sustain, you must have a presence on the internet. You must have a presence in social media. You have to be able to build not only a brick and mortar business, but you got to build your virtual business as well and what that business model is for you. Now, for me, I do away with a brick and mortar, so I reduce my load by half because I don't have to deal with brick and mortar. I don't have to deal with all the expenses and the upkeep and all the hassles that has to do with that. But I have a strong virtual business where the brick and mortars is built online, where my spaces are built online, where my community is built online, where you find me and find what I'm able to provide for is online. And trust me when I say there isn't a more powerful force, whether your market is local or whether it's throughout the world, there isn't a stronger source than being online, being on the internet, and especially in this day and age of social media. Some of the biggest searched websites are YouTube, Facebook. It's all around social media. People are, discarding the regular search engines and using social media to do their searches for So you got to be focused on not, and if you're doing a brick and mortar business, it's just as important as if you're doing an online business. You have to have that virtual business set up, ready to go, and make sure you have a strategy around that. So what are these top 5 mistakes have you already done? Quite honestly, I can tell you I've done a lot of these myself. And that's where I get the experience, and this is where I'm coming to you from on the top 5 mistakes. So, hey, make sure you comment below. Comment below by which one of these mistakes that you've made personally, which one of these mistakes that you've been able to avert, and then ask me for a bonus. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'll get you that bonus, but only if you leave a comment below, only if you get engaged, because only through engagement, only through taking action, only through doing it today are you going to be able to build your futures for tomorrow. So with that said, make sure you watch out. Make sure you don't take any, make any of these mistakes yourself. And if you already have